everyone, and welcome to FranTastic InSights, where we provide insights from some of the coolest people in franchising. My name is Alesia Visconti. I am the president and CEO of FranServe and Franchise Dictionary magazine. Now, FranServe is the world's largest franchise consulting organization, and our mission is really quite simple. We help people follow their dreams by becoming franchise owners. And we do that through a plethora of fantastic franchise brands and franchise consultants who work with their candidates to explore franchise opportunities. Now, today, I'm very excited to have a good friend with me and a gem in the franchise industry, Mr. Pete Baldine. And Pete is the president of Moran Family of Brands. Pete, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alesia. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And as we were just chatting, I so wish we were doing this in person, but we'll do it in Zoom because at least I get to see you, which is always a treat.
I do as well. I'm missing the in-person meetings for sure.
Right, that whole family, right? That whole family, right? So I was hoping that you could explain now under your umbrella, some of the brands that you have and explain a little bit to our audience how that works under Moran Family of Brands.
Yeah, so it's interesting, Alesia, because we have under Moran Family of Brands, we have multiple brands. Okay, a couple of them in the same industry. If you look us up online, you'll see 3 different transmission brands: Mr. Transmission, Multi-State Transmission, and Dr. Nick's Transmission. Okay. The Multi-State and Dr. Nick's were acquisitions, and we maintained those names because the acquisition agreements didn't allow us to change the name. But everything is the same. Best practices are all the same. Method of operation, it's exactly the same model. The only difference is the sign that's out front. So, but from a growth standpoint, we grow the Mr. Transmission brand.
Awesome.
Okay. And then we have Milex Complete Auto Care, which is a general automotive model that does everything from maintenance to engine replacements. Okay. We have Altamir Automotive Outfitters, which is a window tinting and auto accessory business. And I'll give you a little inside information on that one. And also Smart View Window Solutions. So what we do at Moran is we really kind of specialize in co-branding. We acquired all these brands over the years, and they were all specialized individual brands. But as the industry began to change, we started realizing that we had something unique that a lot of our competitors didn't have. Because we had multiple brands, we started putting them together under the same roof and co-branding them. So we put a Mr. Transmission and a Milex together under the same roof. We put an Altamir and a Smart View together under the same roof. Okay. And the benefit of doing that is that they have the same fixed overhead, right? But now they have 2 revenue streams. They have scalable advertising, and they have the ability to, through frequency of use, they have the ability to really build strong relationships with the customers. And in the automotive industry, having strong relationships is what it's all about.
And I was just going to comment on that, Pete, that I bet your customer loyalty strengthens because of the way that you co-brand. So I think that's really such a smart move. And I know our audience right now is doing a little bit of a aha moment, right? Not really realizing that could happen and how beneficial that could be. So thank you for sharing on that. And can you explain a little bit about your role with the company as president?
Yes, I'm the president of the company, and my main role is working with all the different departments and supporting the franchisees, and that includes operations, finance, marketing, technical, franchise development. So every aspect of the support that our franchisees get, I'm responsible for. We're a closely knit, company. Moran Family of Brands isn't just a name. we're really a very family-oriented company, and our franchisees are family to us. And so I have a tremendous amount of direct communication with all of my franchisees. They all have my cell phone number. They know my schedule. They know when I'm driving home at night, and we have a lot of communication.
And I see that on social media. I see that all your franchisees always comment and are active. So I see the interaction a great deal with the brand and your franchisees. It's a wonderful symbiotic relationship. So awesome on that.
Nothing better than engaged franchisees.
I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So, I know sometimes when I ask a question like this, I get the everywhere. And it depends, of course, on the brand and how long they've been in existence. But are there certain markets for you guys right now that are hotter, that that you're really looking to have a franchisee there, or where you're looking to expand?
Yeah, there are, Alesia, and well, let me start with this. Our fourth quarter is going to look pretty good. Okay, we just opened 2 weeks ago in Columbus, Ohio, which is a market that we've wanted to be in for a long time. Okay. We also just opened last week in Glen Olden, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb outside of Philly. We're getting ready to, in the next 45 days, we will open a new location in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll open in Miami, Florida. We'll open in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we'll open in Atlanta. So we've got a lot going on.
It definitely sounds like it. And I tell you, and it's still in COVID and all of that, it's great to hear the expansion and the excitement still, right, with franchises opening. And obviously your brands are definitely drawing people interest. So that is something that is near and dear to both our hearts. So that's awesome.
We were fortunate with COVID in that we were deemed an essential business. Yeah. We stayed open everywhere. And believe it or not, in March and April, we had a few franchisees that actually set records.
I believe that because, again, people with their transportation, their cars, it is essential. And let's face it, people want to be able to at least go where they need to go when they want to go. So awesome that you guys were able to, be open during this time. It's a wonderful blessing for your franchisees and for your customers.
You know what we're seeing, Alesia? So, if you travel at all right now, via the airlines, it's pretty easy getting through the airports. With COVID, I think a lot of people are concerned about, getting on airplanes and being in those close quarters and traveling, but they're still traveling. They're just doing it by car. Yeah. And we're seeing the benefits of, those extra miles driven. Miles driven always impacts our business.
I would think it is, and I can definitely see that. I could definitely see people, as you said, maybe not flying, but still wanting to get away with the family, change of scenery, still doing things by car. So again, right. Kudos to you and your team.
I was, as you know, I was back in upstate New York this week, and I was concerned about the quarantine rules, and going through the airport, so I drove.
Yeah, and that's quite a bit of a drive for you. So as I said, I'm sure you saw some beautiful scenery. It is
I did.
Beautiful up in that area. Yep. Awesome. Now we're talking about franchisees and they're doing well and you're opening new locations. What qualities do you look for in a franchisee? What type of strategy, ability, mindset works well for your franchisees?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So one thing that people always seem to misinterpret a little bit with automotive is they think that the candidate has to have automotive experience and be able to turn wrenches and be able to diagnose cars, and that's simply not the case. As a matter of fact, we do better with franchisees that don't have automotive experience because they don't have a set way of doing things. They follow the system better. our system is a well-established system that works. And sometimes when you bring people in that have automotive experience, they rely on that experience versus following the system. The people that come in that recognize that automotive is a good business to be in, and that it continues to be a thriving and growing business, they come in, and because they don't know it, they're not professional automotive people, they come in and they grasp the system and they follow that system, and that works.
And again, I think that's another aha moment, right, for our audience, because I'm sure lots of people are listening to you and thinking that would be great. And they're saying, but I don't know anything about the automotive industry. And here you're saying that that's a welcome, situation to have. So it is always what we talk about, and we hear it so often in the franchise space, right, to follow the system, right? It's a blueprint, a model for success. And so again, sometimes the audience, if you do not have the experience, you see that it's a welcome still for that franchisee to take that step forward, because the system is laid out for you. So thank you for that, Pete, because I do think that you're right. There can be a misconception that, I had to have been a mechanic, or I have to know how to work on cars to be a franchisee. And here you're saying, no, you don't. You don't. We have
a model. We have a model that is well developed and proven, and part of that model is that we help the franchisees recruit technicians. We screen those technicians for them so that they know that they have the right automotive experience. And what we want a franchisee that has sales experience, that has good customer service experience, knows how to build an organization. And the other thing that we find, that's kind of our little secret, okay, is that the people that we end up awarding franchises to that do well and that really want to be in our business are people that may not have professional automotive background, but they have a hobby interest. They ride motorcycles, they race, they used to rebuild cars, they're restored cars or whatever. Their father owned a gas station. The reason that works for us is because they have a passion for the business. They might not have personal firsthand experience, but they have a passion for the business, and they see the value in a business that just continues to grow. I mean, in the last 10 years, we've gone from 216 million vehicles on the road to 272 million.
And that makes total sense, as you said, that if they have a fondness for cars, that it can definitely turn into a business for them as a franchisee. So that's awesome.
Right.
And I know you're also very much involved, with VetFran for the International Franchise Association, and you're very, veteran friendly. Can you share a little bit about, your philosophy for veterans and your discounts for veterans?
Yeah. So, Alesia, VetFran, we've been involved in VetFran for many, many years, and we continue to be ranked very highly with the VetFran program. And part of the reason that we have an emphasis on that is that, we just talked about the importance of following a proven system, and who does that better than a veteran, right? They have discipline. They see the value in a system. They'll follow that system, and they'll implement that system well. And so we have good luck with veterans. We actively try to recruit veterans, not only as franchisees, but we have a very strong program in recruiting veterans as technicians to work for franchisees as well. And we have someone here on staff that's dedicated to working with the Veteran Association to use that as a recruiting tool for franchisees. If a veteran has been in the military and they've worked in the truck pool, or they've worked on heavy equipment, they're a great candidate to come and be a technician in one of our stores. So if they don't have the money to buy a franchise, that's fine with us. We want them as an employee as well. And but 17% of our franchisees are veterans.
Yeah, I knew the number was higher than normal in businesses. So that is just an awesome statement. And I know how active you have been and continue to be in VetFran. As you know, I'm also on the VetFran committee. And so, as a whole, I love how franchising really does embrace military, and it's just an awesome program that you have, and that's great to hear. So thank you on that. And
we do offer a VetFran discount of $5,000 off the franchise fee.
Yep.
We also in the past have awarded free franchises in 2 different instances to veterans to bring them into the system.
Awesome. And I love the idea too about, veterans also becoming employees for the franchisees. That's also another wonderful path for veterans to be able to pursue with your brand. So excellent point on that, Pete.
Alesia, everybody in the franchise industry wants to bring veterans in as franchisees, and we do as well. Okay. But a lot of these veterans, coming out are still only 23, 24, 25 years old, and they might not have any money, but they need a job, right? And they have the skills that work great for us. So we're very active in trying to recruit veterans for employment.
Love it. I'll keep that in mind as well in my travels as well. Great point, Pete. Talking a little bit the way that we are, I'd like to go a little bit deeper now, talk about one of my favorite hashtags on social media. I probably use this one more than even my company's names on social media, and that is the one of hashtag franchise strong. Now, to me, it just embodies everything about franchising. The whole concept of caring people, helping to make people's dreams come true through franchise ownership. And I just find so many people think about having a business of their own, don't know where to go. Franchising, we use that tagline all the time: be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So for me, Franchise Strong is a community. It's a family type of environment where we help people's dreams come true. I would love it if you would share a little bit about what Franchise Strong means to you and to all of the brands in Moran Family Brands.
Sure, you bet. Alesia, I've been in franchising. I know this will surprise you. Because I know you think I'm a lot younger than this, but I've been in franchising since 1980. Okay. And you were
12. You were 12.
Yeah. So, and I've been at Moran Family of Brands for 20 years. Okay. So, as closely as we work with our franchisees, I have to tell you that some of my best friends in the world, right now, are some of our franchisees. Okay. When they come to town, they stay at my house. I go to town, I stay at their house. They won't let me get a hotel. We just have very, very close relationships. But Franchise Strong means a lot of different things to me. We have a set of core values that we use. That's drive, and it stands for dedication, respect, integrity, vision, and enthusiasm. And we want all of our dealings with anything that happens in the business to be, governed by those core values. Okay. And so that means that, if you're in a situation where there's any kind of adversity or a difficult situation, that we always do that sanity check and say, hey, am I dealing with this with drive? And so that's very important to us. It's very important to our philosophy. But other aspects of Franchise Strong, you've got the aspect of our engagement and our relationship with our franchisees, but also the franchise community as a whole. Right now with COVID and all the Zoom calls, I've got my particular calls that I'm on every week, and you've been on some of them with me as well. And just seeing how the franchise community always comes together, always supports one another, always shares information, even with competitors. I've got competitors I deal with, and we share information, to try to make us all better. and people are not afraid to step up and do that. And it just makes franchising such a great place to be. You know, and all the relationships that you develop in the franchise community. That's why this whole COVID thing is killing me by not, you know, getting to some of these meetings, you know, on a personal, you know, face-to-face basis, you know. So we have to settle for Zoom calls, you know, in today's environment. But those relationships, you know, continue to thrive because everybody wants to jump on those calls, and everybody wants to share and see how we're responding to different things, and how we're, you know, making the world better for our franchisees and helping our franchisees make more money. And I just wouldn't want to be any place else other than in franchising. It's just such a great environment.
You know, I must tell you, Pete, as you said, you've been in franchising for just a little bit there, but your passion, it comes through as if it was just, you just came into it. So you may have been in franchising for quite some time, but your energy and your passion about your franchisees and all of franchising really comes through very, very strong.
Well,
so
thank you. You know, it's funny because I just came back from my hometown, and I saw some of my old friends, and, you know, with all of us getting up there, you know, with the gray hair and all that, I was asked a number of times, when are you going to retire? You know, and I was like, I'm not. Why would I love what I do, and I have a blast doing it. And I feel like you know, I'm accomplishing things for my franchisees. So why would I retire? Why would I leave this?
You know, I tell you, it's so true, because, you know, and I don't mean it to sound melodramatic, but we really do change people's lives when they be to the franchise space. So it's a wonderful environment to be in, and I can see why you know, it's a give and take, and it just feeds me just like it feeds you. It's a wonderful, wonderful community. So thank you for that, Pete.
You know, Alesia, one more point. You know, when you talk about Franchise Strong, right? This may be the greatest compliment I can think of for our system, but we have 33% of our franchisees in our system have been in the system for 20 years or more. Okay, 16% of them have been in for 30 years or more. And when they get to the expiration of their agreements, they renew their agreements, you know, and I can't think of a better compliment, I guess, than that, to have franchisees, you know, renew their agreements. They're 15-year agreements now. And so that means that 33% of our system is on at least their second agreement, and some of them longer, you know.
That is a wonderful compliment. And, you know, with FranServe, we're on the you know, beginning of that path, right? We help them to learn about becoming a franchisee. And the thing that we hear over and over again is, man, I wish I had done it sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So again, so, you know, you hear that excitement, and then here you have it with your brand, where they're renewing their term with you to stay on longer, to be part even longer of the family. So that is quite the compliment. So
and
you and your team.
We are so happy to be part of FranServe, and to be involved in, you know, everything that you've accomplished with FranServe for the past few years that you've owned it, and also what you've done with Franchise Dictionary is amazing. And we're just very happy to be involved in that and be a small part of that.
Well, thank you, Pete. You know, as you know, it's all about team. I have an amazing team, and that includes franchise partners like you. So, you know, it all comes together under one giant loving family, right? That's how it works. That's the franchise family. So, Pete, I do appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I'm so grateful that we got to connect. Do you have any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I do have a one last thought, and that is that I agree with you. You do have an amazing team, okay? And I've talked to many people on that amazing team, and it's unanimous that they think they have an amazing leader.
Wow. Thank you very much. Now you're going to get me all blushing on Zoom. Right? Now you're going to get me all blushing.
You know, in order to have an amazing team, you've got to have some great leadership, and you've done that.
Well, thank you so much, Pete. I really appreciate it. And I feel like I'm probably blushing, but thank you so much. And I just have to say thank you again for coming here. I can't wait till we see each other in person. And I just have to say it, have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Alesia. Great being with you.